Welcome to Kogan's Heroes, the show that reviews the best of Kogan's new products. In this episode, I will be looking at the Kogan Wi-Fi digital internet radio. I've had this radio for about 4 months now and it's still one of my favorite electronic gadgets. It has such versatility and represents great value for money. Let's start by looking at the main features. The radio has many different modes. Firstly, there is the DAB+ digital radio. This lets me pick up the free-to-air digital radio in much higher quality than an old analog AM radio. Also, it gives me extra digital radio stations that aren't available with analog, AM or even FM, such as ABC Grandstand for sports lovers. Secondly, there is the FM mode, which is pretty much a standard FM radio, as you get on many receivers. Thirdly, there is the iPod mode. With an iPod, such as the Touch or an iPhone, the Kogan radio can play back music through the built-in speaker. The song can be selected directly on your iPod, or you can use the pause and track control buttons on the Kogan radio. Also, your iPod or iPhone is automatically charged through the docking station. Fourthly, there is the auxiliary mode. An auxiliary input at the back of the unit can be plugged into the headphone socket of other devices. For example, I can play back music from my iPod piano. Fifthly, there is the internet radio mode. This is where the Kogan radio really stands out from other mere iPod docks or digital radios, especially at this price. There are literally thousands of internet radio stations out there. Over a Wi-Fi connection to the internet, the radio receives stations from all over the world, such as BBC, NPR, Voice of America. I have set up my own favorite stations on a website which automatically synchronizes them with my Kogan radio. For example, here's Radio Day from Helsinki. I used to listen to the scratchy sounds of shortwave radio, but now it's crystal clear through the internet radio. It's a whole new world for former shortwave radio listeners. Sixthly, there is the digital player mode, where music can be streamed from a computer that is seen over the Wi-Fi network. Seventhly, there is the USB mode. This is one of my favorite modes, as I can store music on a spare USB stick and play it at any time. If I don't find something to listen to with the other options, the USB mode is very handy. In fact, I leave the USB stick on the Kogan radio all the time as a backup. And finally, there is the built-in digital alarm clock. The best part of the clock is that it automatically updates itself from the internet. There's no need to correct the time manually. As you can see, there's heaps of features in such a low price unit. But what is the performance like? The sound quality is actually quite good from the mono speaker. Even better stereo sound can be achieved from the headphone socket by plugging in external powered speakers. The latest versions of the Kogan digital radio has even better speakers and should also have better sound. With so many functions available, it took a little while to learn how to use the unit. The main controls are the mode button, the volume control knob, and the tuning knob. The tuning knob is used for changing stations, but is also a push-button knob that is used for making selections in some of the menus. Once mastered, it is pretty easy to use the Kogan radio. Overall, the Kogan Wi-Fi digital radio represents fantastic value for money. It is such a versatile unit. I think it should be a favorite for gadget lovers out there. So next time on Kogan's Heroes, we will look at the big one, the Kogan 47-inch TV. Goodbye for now.